Welcome back to the Hotspot, everybody, on YouTube Live, on Facebook Live, and on KUAM TV Live, by the way. Now, members of the Guam Tourism and Travel Association held a press conference yesterday morning in which they detailed the group's purpose and mission. They have their first travel tourism recovery planning seminar set for June the 7th at the Hyatt Regency Guam, which will be conducted virtually and in person. And here in studio in Harmon to tell us more are the chairperson of the event, Joyvna Lujan, and director Jay Merrill, two people who have been instrumental in making sure that our hospitality, our marketing agencies are as thriving as they are. I'm going to use an active voice in the thriving as they are because it's not like they completely disappeared. So Joyvna, Jay, welcome.
Thank you.
We're very happy to have you. And congratulations
us.
on the formulation of this organization. I know these kind of things are not easy to do. And some people would say, you know, the current state of Guam's economy, specifically tourism, we're in a rebounding, we're rebuilding and everything like that. I'm pretty sure, Jay, knowing you as I do, you would see this as a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, please explain.
Well, the economy right now is on the verge of gaining back almost 66% of private receipts. Those are receipts that businesses lost. Mm-hmm. The government has had a great deal of money, but now is the time for our private sector to come back. And what we're trying to do at GTTA is provide not only information, but also a voice for the folks during the pandemic that were hurt the most, and those are small businesses. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if you know it, Jason, but over 86% of all businesses on Guam have 20 or fewer employees. Mm-hmm. And it's like over 90% within the tourism industry, which surprises a lot of people. And that most of those businesses, even in the tourism sector, are owned or affiliated with long-time local residents. So the impact of the pandemic on that particular sector was enormous. And what we're looking for are ways in which we can assist those kinds of businesses and tourism in general to rebound as quickly as possible. Mm-hmm. Because it's in that way that we're going to reclaim the jobs that were lost, and it's going to be able to point to a future that's going to allow all of that investment that's occurred to finally have some sort of payoff.
Okay, now I'd like to ask both of you, because I think key phrase from there, the one takeaway I got from that, Jay beautifully said, was ways to assist. Now, are we looking at the ushering of information, or opening up different resources? Maybe are we even looking at maybe like seed funding or giving people like an avenue to go? And Joyvna, your thoughts, please.
I think in general, the key word is collaboration. And beyond our awesome tomorrow spirit, the hospitality spirit, Guam has a long history of being an all-inclusive community. And I like to think that in as much as we've seen and had experiences over the years where collaboration probably didn't go so smoothly, the one thing that certainly affirms collaboration is possible is the fact that here we are today, the $60 million in federal and local resources that our public officials provided to assist these businesses are now making their way into the community. But beyond that, where do we go from there? And when we look outward beyond our region, we look at the globe, we look at what's happening in travel. There's a lot to do, really, both locally and in harmony with our source markets within the region, where we can together craft what we feel should comprise the right vision for Guam to come back. We know from everything that our experts have told us, we know that it's not going to come back tomorrow. We're happy to see more tourists in our businesses and on San Salvador's Road. We know this will take time, but that in general, we're on the right track. Now the question is, how can we come together as a community and work together to ensure that the Guam comeback is going to be a strong one? So these are the kinds of activities that GTTA has endeavored to get involved with. And we work very much in close harmony with the folks at University of Guam. Jay here is very active. We are working with GITA. All of these different entities have their expertise and have their access to resources and information. And the role we see ourselves playing at GTTA is putting an arm around all of those entities and combining our resources to paint a stronger vision for a stronger Guam comeback.
And your organization, as far as the formulation, it's a private nonprofit organization.
That's
Yes.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and I appreciate, Joyvna, how you said you're planning on supplementing, partnering, however you want to frame it, with GITA. How about other organizations, probably the two, along with GITA, that have been in the limelight the most throughout the pandemic, GVB and GHRA?
Yeah, GVB and GHRA already have been working closely with us. They were very instrumental when we just got started with Protehi, which was an organization that precluded GTTA, and they were very instrumental in helping us gather information. They allowed us to survey their members. GHRA has also been very supportive of what we're trying to do. The job's really big. It's too large for any single organization. And particularly the folks that we are reaching out to are those that are the suppliers of tourism. We are largely about looking internally to see how we can prepare for the return of a product and of a service that's going to remain world class. GVB's concentration has been, as it should be, on what can be done to bring those visitors in. And GHRA has its hands full with simply the hospitality end of that business. But the tourism experience on Guam is very, it's multifaceted, and there are many, many small businesses, from restaurants to tour operators to individual experience makers, that are a part of the industry that need to be supported, and we're there to provide them a voice.
Again, Jay, I love the fact how you use the word membership, because the brain trust that you have at GTTA, the assembly of experience and big thinkers that you guys, I mean, you guys look like the 1926 Yankees right here. I mean, you guys have a very, along with the both of you, with yourselves. Tell me about some of the members who are here. We talked to Monty Mesa last night. We've worked with him for many, many years, but who are the contributing members that you're combining your ideas and everything to make this vision into a reality?
Well, there are 12 members of the current board, and all of us, each of our businesses are tied very closely to our own alliances. I'm in retail, Monty's in real estate and retail. Jay here is in research and development. We have Bill Nault, who's very involved in the travel agency business. We have Satoru Murata, who's involved in the transportation and travel booking industry. We have Steve Kasperbauer, who's involved in oceanic sporting recreational activities in his business. We have Anne-Marie Muña, who's involved in the insurance and insurance brokerage industry. Dave Tidinko at Laddie of the Valley. We have, who else am I missing there? I mentioned Monty.
Oh, there you go.
Brad
Koppenberg, who's in the transportation business.
Yeah. So it really is very interdisciplinary. I mean, if you want to frame it academically like that, but you've got people from all different types of industries. Many of you have obviously you know of each other, and many of you have collaborated before in the past, but now you're all kind of focusing your effort and power to focus on this main goal.
Yeah, the idea was to bring people with lots of experience and a lot of knowledge, but also in fields that are very complementary, so that it brings together as a whole something much more powerful than any of us individually can do.
Absolutely.
So in working that way in a team, we found it, frankly, to some of our surprise, that it's been as successful as it has been. The work that we did in terms of helping the governor understand why it was necessary to provide assistance to businesses that were hurt, I think was very effective. And as a result, as Joyvna indicated, $60 million was invested, along with our partners at GITA, along with the legislature that was supportive, and certainly along with the governor's help, has made that all possible. So it was clear that we could play a role. We did have value in attempting in this to foster and hasten the recovery, and we're excited.
And the one thing, Joyvna, that I guess a lot of people maybe overlook is that the fact that, you said our Chamorro heritage and the virtues that we hold dear is, take care of each other. And a lot of people think that just stops, at the village level, or, when it comes to the fiesta. But Inafa Maulik definitely extends to the business world as well.
Inafa Maulik, Protehi Inilalata, we can go on. And, I couldn't be more proud to work with a fine team of experts in the industry as my peers here at GTTA. What's really a positive factor about this cadre of 12 individuals in GTTA at the moment is we're able to kind of anticipate, share input, feedback to one another, correct one another, clarify, and further explain what all of our different segments are experiencing. Now, one of the things that came out from our experience with Protege, which led to LEAP, you know, that experience allowed us to reach a whole cadre of other businesses that are behind the scenes, that are not as visible, that don't have as much sophistication internally or access to planning information. Folks like florists, you know, we talk a little bit about individual tour guides, and I can go on, taxi drivers and so forth. And you know, the experience allowed us to hear their situation and how they were impacted. And it was very gratifying to be a small part of what the administration and the legislature and GITA are executing today. When you take a look at the investguam.com website, all you need to do is click on the menu there, and you will page down to the 1,200 and more businesses that are applying or have applied for LEAP. It's amazing. And when you take a look at the comprehensive spans of those applicants, you say to yourself, this is the right thing to do. We need more collaboration. We need to slow down and take a look further out and look out from one another, consistent with the Chamorro culture, you know. And I think that's just the starting. You know, none of us have a crystal ball on what next year will look like or what travel may look like beyond that. But I think the fact that we have a community comprised of various commercial sectors that are willing to come together and engage in this dialogue, I think, you know, we're going to see Guam come back. We can only come back stronger.
Absolutely.
You know?
Okay, so Jay, I want to tell people, can you give us an idea about how you register for the event at the Hyatt? We got about 30 more seconds, but I want to let you give people ample time to get set up and make sure that they register, make sure they can avail of this information and the collaboration.
That's right. We're rushing towards our opening on the 7th, and it'll be a website that we will be publicizing, and they'll be able to go online and register online and purchase tickets so to either be there in person or to be just view it remotely.
Okay, how much are the tickets?
Right now it's $50.
Okay. And what types of attendees are you looking for? Are you looking for like upper echelon C-level executives, or can this even be like mid-level managers or decision makers?
From very small companies to large companies. The point is we want to give them insight from experts in Japan and Korea about what the actual plans are for the return of visitors.
As you said, the mom and pops are probably the target audience.
And so lots of folks, I think, would have interest in learning that from the horse's mouth in terms of what they see the next 2 quarters are going to be in terms of the return and then beyond.
All right. Well, we are just getting started. So we wish the best to the both of you and the membership that you have. A very, very impressive roster, as I said, and we're going to be there every step of the way as long as you guys will have us, because we really want to see where you guys go with this.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Jason.
All right. Please stay tuned, because the hotspot will continue right after this.
Get up to the